Come one, come all! Welcome to my channel. I don't have a catchy name yet, so you get to figure out how to pronounce my Google Plus name. Is it Nyan Skeet, Normal Sheet, who knows, but today you are in for a treat. We're starting with Automation, the car company tycoon game, or as I like to call it, BeamNG Garage. I've decided the best way to start my proper YouTube career would be to make a series called 3 Quarts of Carnage, a 73-ish part series where I design a vehicle for each available model year in Automation, from 1946 to 2019. I say 73-ish because the hardworking devs at Camshaft Software are bound to add more years quite soon, and I don't want to be deceiving now, come on. Alright, let's get straight into it. So obviously, I'm starting with year 1946, because it's a good story, always starts from the beginning. There are several occasions where I will skip ahead because, runtime, and this is one of them. Alright, I'm gonna pick this sweet looking chop top muscle car because fucking America. Nothing says America like 8 cylinders of freedom pounding under the hood. Except this is 1946. Inline engines are the cat's meow, and V8s back then were like EVs just before Tesla came along. Big, heavy, and not as easy to make or maintain. Plus, this is my video and I feel like making an i6. Aight. Alright, so we're gonna make this powerful, but we don't quite want to make it the fastest car in the world because I gotta have something to do later, and if I'm gonna try to make it the fastest car for each year, that'll be a boring video, incremental differences, yada yada. We're gonna go with rear wheel drive because it's the 40s. All wheel drive doesn't really exist yet, and we're gonna go for about 3 liters. Let's see, we're gonna go with push rod because it's simple. We're gonna start off with the cheaper components at first, and then as I build up the engine, I'll make it a little more powerful. Single barrel eco carbs, 3 of them. I think I'm gonna go with performance intake actually instead of standard because it looks cooler, I guess. Not that it really matters, but I'm gonna go with regular leaded, easily available stuff. Some totally tubular headers. And because it's inline 6, only single exhaust, I'm gonna take a different decision than I usually would and put baffles on 2 baffled mufflers on it, just for giggles. Take down the RPM limit, that way I'm not knocking the engine or floating the valves, because that's bad. The engine doesn't make as much power when you're doing that. Granted, valve float doesn't necessarily diminish power. I mean, that sounds dumb. Does, but regardless, we don't want that, so I got rid of it. I mean, look at those carburetors. They did some good stuff in this game for the UE4 version compared to the older version with the reflections and stuff. It almost looks ray traced with a little bit of noise. Not little, the extreme amount of noise and a lot of the shadows and things. I found it kind of interesting, but here I'm just tweaking the ignition timing, trying to, find just give it a more smooth torque curve, because you don't want your valet driver roasting your tires while he's trying to park your car. And, try to give it not super peaky power, but also I don't want to leave any performance on the table. And here's where we, take a peek at the sound of the engine. Fuck, that sounds dumb. Sounds okay for a engine, from the 40s. Not the best, not the worst. I'm not too happy with the RPM limit, but again, it's from 1946. It's not gonna rev up that high, and I don't really feel like sacrificing displacement for RPMs. Plus, back then that wouldn't fly. Literally, I guess. Play around with this a little more. I like to play with this stuff before I finally actually go on everything else. Need to do a little tuning. Actually, skip that. Here's where we go on to the fun stuff. The body. The stuff where YouTubers like Shiny Odd, I believe. His name is Shiny Odd? His name is Shiny Odd. Yeah. Where he does those streams where it's like, don't let the stream make this car. Don't let stream chat make a rally racer, yada yada yada. And he comes out with some cancerous garbage, and honestly, it's just it's the best and worst thing ever. And I actually took some. That's kind of what he's part of what inspired me to make this video. Him and Matt Lown. He does Kerbal Space Program videos. He's kind of what inspired me to do a commentary video rather than a live audio video. So shout outs to those two guys. I mean, is it really a shout out if I've only had one video? This is my first video. I don't care. Either way, I mean, hey, if this is, you know, years after I've posted the video and you're watching, hello from the past. Yeah. But you know, I'm trying to find a paint color here for the car. It's kind of annoying when you're trying to find a paint for the car and it doesn't, you know, the body, the trim slots and stuff like that aren't set up. I guess I could say logically. They're not set up very logically. So you gotta go in, you gotta screw around, and I believe I'm playing in the beta right now. So I don't think the I don't think the public release version of this game currently has this new paint system. But I really hope, I haven't made a pickup truck in a while. I'm hoping that they fixed the issue where the bed of the truck was always bright red and other vehicles had those same problems. Let's see, I kind of skip ahead through after I do actually before I do any of the fixtures, I like to go through and do things like the tire width and all that stuff so that I can have the engine placed so that when I place fixtures like the exhaust pipes, the exhaust actually routes to it, and I make sure it doesn't get glitched before I export it to BeamNG, which I almost always do because it's fun to screw around with that stuff. Down in the comments, let me know if you want to see me drive this vehicle, this car in BeamNG. You know, do some fun stuff with that. If my little rig can handle it. I did go back there, if you caught that, and I switched to a different body type because I couldn't figure out how to make that body style work because it's kind of a retro classic type of thing. You really wouldn't have ever seen a vehicle like that in the 40s, other than today. Really, it's more of a hey, look, it's retro, let's do this type of thing. But I feel like this, you know, James Bond style Aston Martin looks pretty slick. You know, it still looks kind of 70s, but I feel like I can make it work. You know, playing around with the hood, make it a little more forward facing, I could say. You know, cars back in that day, they had some real long nosed, you know, real long hoods. So throw that cab back a little bit. I don't think I've ever made anything with this body before, so you know, I'm just playing around with things, trying to get the shape I really want. It's, you know, just playing around with stuff. I noticed I have a lot more room, so I went back and I made the engine a lot bigger, from the 3 liters I had before up to, what do I take it to here? 4,500, exactly 4,500. Wow, I didn't even notice how when I was making this. Oh, am I really gonna screw that up? So I'm enriching up the fuel mixture, even though I'm kind of trying to go for a slightly efficient engine. I'm really not worried about that because they weren't worried about that back then. 243 pounds of torque though, or foot-pounds of torque. Pretty good for a gasoline engine of the time, I believe, compared to 140 horsepower that I've got it sitting at right now. I do need to upgrade those pistons and con rods though, or connecting rods. But whenever you're going through cars, whenever you're going through the engine and making tweaks like that, you always want to go back and check everything else, make sure that everything is at an optimal setting, like the exhaust. If you're turbocharged, you want to, you know, I could spend a good 20-30 minutes on just the engine alone if I'm working with turbochargers and stuff, because you want to tweak everything to get that maximum power, maximum torque at the lowest RPM possible and sustained, you know, evenly throughout. There's a lot of room for improvement on almost any engine you make in this game, and that's just what's so in you know, what's the word? Yeah, I'm not searching for the word. It's what's so fun about it. So now that we're going back, looking at the paints a little more, just checking them over. Now we get to the fun part, the fixtures. So I wanted to go for a headlight, kind of like what I have on my motorcycle. I ride a 1983 Yamaha Maxim. And you know, it's got that standard round circle headlight thing. It's very basic, you know, just chrome around the rim, simple headlight in the middle. It goes well on just about everything. They look like they're a little big. I'll take that. I'll take them and make them a little smaller later. But let's get a grill right now. So, you know, just something big and wide. You know, because back in those days, that's when you started to see those huge, fancy, elaborate grills. I'm not really going to do anything too crazy like that. But, you know, I want to have something big. I want you to be able to look at that and say, well, you're not going to see how, you're not really going to be able to tell how freaking old it is. It's got like a 70s body style. I thought I'd throw a tow hitch on it because, you know, why not? Maybe you... I have no good reason. I have no good reason to put it on there, but I did it anyways. And you know what? Deal with it. So let's see. What am I looking for now? I'm thinking maybe like vents. There needs to be something underneath those headlights next to the grill, and I'm trying to figure out what I need to do. Because there's got to be something there. I would say turn signals, but I don't even think they were legal, or not legal. I don't think they were legally required back then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these things here, basically the same, they've just got a little extra flair to them. I'm going to set them like that, and ooh, that thing's got a sad face now. You know what? Screw it. Let's make it work, man. Talking about shiny out earlier, man. Let's build this first one in his honor. You know, let's dedicate this one to him. What are we gonna call it? What are we gonna call it? The SADD. Yes, I'll think of an acronym for that later. Oh, and I should name it now. The 1946. The model 1946. You know, because of the trim year. Let's see, what should I do, door handles. That's something that Shiny Yacht always got yelled at for, is that he never had any door handles on his vehicles, apparently. I should watch some of his streams. You guys should go watch some of his streams. Maybe I should stream. Huh. Not a bad idea. Let's see, gotta find the right door handle. I was looking for a different type because I kind of saw this at first and it's just, I don't know, I kind of wanted something different. I do like though when, I don't think this one was a mod, but I do like when there's multiple options for a single fixture, because, you know, to make it fit right, to make it look nice. I really like that the base game stuff and the stuff created, you know, by Camshaft usually has those extra options. Something I like about working with the base game trims and stuff is that you can, you know, the bonnet options and all that, they always work. Bonnet. I keep forgetting that this game was made in New Zealand. Air from America, and we call it a hood. Not that kind of hood. Stop thinking like that. The hood of your car. But yeah, I also never forget the windshield wipers. Never forget about the windshield wipers. As someone who lives in Washington, I guess I work in Washington too. Somebody who lives in Washington State, it's a tropical rainforest. It's raining all the time. You don't have windshield wipers, you ain't driving. You know, try riding a motorcycle without Rain-X on your helmet and you'll say the same dang thing. And it's kind of pointless, but I like to make sure that there's clearance for the size of windshield wipers that I'm using. You know, make sure that they're, you know, they'll look right if they would actually work. If they worked and they cleared correctly, or they had the right clearance, then they'll probably look right on the car. Now, granted, to me, they don't look right on the car. I probably should have changed the color from chrome. That might have done something, maybe. I don't know. I don't care. It'll be chrome. Let it be chrome. Let's see. Just tuning that a bit. You know, making it fit right.
This is my first time, well, making a video. I figured that doing a commentary would be a little easier and have more to talk about. But never forget about the badge. This is where we truly pay tribute to Shiny Yacht. I forgot I went through and I downloaded every single mod I saw. Oh yeah, I also wanted to see how big I could make that. And automation. Come on, guys. I can't make it any bigger than that. I should be able to make it as big as the whole damn car. Come on now. Step up your game. Literally. But yeah, nice big shiny logo right there on the front. Good shit, good shit. Yeah, go ahead, demonetize me, YouTube. I ain't even monetized as it is. You're gonna be making all the money on this video as it is, because I ain't even got the subscribers or the view count to be eligible for monetization. Oh, I thought that this might look nice. The extra light in there. It still felt a little empty in the little, I guess you could call it teardrop area, where it drops down from that main headlight. You know, just something else to kind of spice it up a little bit. And I think it looks okay. I feel like it needs something still. It's just checking out how those headlights look for, later projects that I might have, because I haven't used everything. I just went and downloaded every single mod off the workshop and called it good. I kind of like the way that looks there on the grill. Don't pay any attention to how it's just floating like 8 inches off. But ooh, that I really like, the more dense grill mesh. I think that's what it really needed, was that one right there. With the shiny odd logo on it. I like that. See how it looks up here. Yeah, I think that looks good. It looks almost complete, other than the taillights that we don't have. So, excuse me. Yeah, I just burped in the commentary. Deal with it. I kind of wanted to go with those turbine, afterburner looking taillights, but that's more like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's more like 60s stuff. I really liked these for a minute. And I just thought, I'll leave them as placeholders. No, that's kind of funny. But something about them just don't quite look right. I don't know. I should take a minute to look at it from different angles. But I do really like that they added American plates to the game. It really, it's real nice. I like it a lot. Oh, and I didn't know that they added new states. I thought they only had California. I was just about to say that they should, add more states, but now we've got what, New York? Oh, they got New South Wales. I love their sense of humor with the FAP 365, and all that for the plate numbers. And I do like the automation thing. I find that to be pretty cool, even just on the standard California plate. There's our little tow hitch that'll be kind of useless. So I thought I would, oh, can't miss the exhaust. Can't miss the exhaust pipe, nope. Stick it right there, kind of like all cars at the time had, just a little dinky thing. I wish I could change the color of that thing from chrome to normal steel so that it matched the rest of the exhaust, but can't quite do that. Yeah, I think it's starting to come together kind of nice, actually. I maybe should have changed the color, with hindsight. I probably should have changed the color of the car. It's a little too teal. We desaturated a little bit. But I really like those taillights. They just, something about them, I feel like they might be a little too square. I'm really not sure. I really didn't take any time to look and see what taillights looked like back then, for the most part. But something we do need to change is the rims, because all those look like donuts off a modern car. Nothing really isn't. There's nothing 40s about them. But these I like. Let's see. Go through here, some more performance-related stuff. Skip through all this. Basically get to the end till it starts showing me errors, and we're going for a nice car, so we're gonna go luxury AM radio and premium interior with standard 40s safety. Ooh. Got some big problems with wheel spin though. Oh boy. Fun fact, quick tip for anybody trying to make top speed cars. Make sure that your car tops off at like the top of your power peak. That way you're making absolute certain that you're using the maximum. You want your top speed to be in your power band so that you're using the most of your gearbox and you're getting the maximum torque and horsepower in use at once. Because if you set your where it says that your top speed is at, like, say the end of your red line, at red line, you've got wasted power. You could have your gearing be a little longer so that you're in the power band when you're hitting your top speed. That's the fastest. That's the easiest way to make a fast car when it comes to the gearbox. And I find that to be a universal rule. Doesn't matter what you're making. If you want to go fast and you want your top speed to be the main priority, set that final drive ratio so that your top speed is at peak power. But speaking of peak power, this thing has got a little bit of an issue with wheel spin, and I need to take care of that immediately. I need to stop saying That's a thing that I'll need to not do if I want to be popular at all on YouTube. There I go again. I'm testing different ways to get rid of the wheel spin problems. See if I can get any useful, if I can make my gearbox more utilitarian, I guess you could say, so that I can go fast and tow ass, haul ass and haul some ass. But now we get to the brakes, where we've got some problems there. I find that a lot of the cars in automation, if you turn the brake bias closer to 50-50, you generally get better performance. Sadly, we're starting in 1946. All we have is single leading shoe drum brakes. I've got them at their maximum size. Oh, pad type. That's what I didn't screw with. That's what I could have done to make this a little better. I was trying to make the raw footage a little quick, so I didn't have to do too much editing, because I'm just using some basic Windows Movie Maker I found off of a fake version of Windows Movie Maker I found off the Windows Store for like $10. So it really doesn't give me enough options to edit efficiently, if very much even at all. I'm surprised I was even able to do a voiceover. I thought it was going to be a little more difficult. But yeah, here's where I'm trying to. I want this thing to be a lot more on the sporty side, so it's not going to be too comfortable. I want the dampers and shocks to be in just right in that range. For anybody who's new to this game, adjust your springs first and your shocks afterwards, because adjusting your shocks will make them. Let's see, which one was it? Adjusting one moves the other, and then the other being adjusted doesn't move the one. So you can always do that to stay safe and not be sitting there, well, let me boost up this, and then the other one falls down, and boost this up a little more, and then the other one falls down, and it's kind of annoying. And for that AM radio, we're going to stick this big old radio flyer antenna on there. Gotta get reception. Can't have a radio unless you got an antenna. Gotta hear your I don't know what the popular radio stations were back then. What you think? You think I was there? Let me make a joke, man. Stop thinking about that stuff. Stop pressuring me, my dude, my guy. Oh God, I'm going insane. Speaking of going insane, let's see how this thing goes on the test track. There we go. Takes enough time to load. Oh, compared to modern day cars, this thing is abysmally slow. I think I'm gonna fast forward it a little bit, maybe. I don't know. I mean, at least we know our top speed is 125 miles an hour, which is damn good for 1946. I'm pretty sure the fastest car back then was like 95 miles an hour. At least one of the fastest luxury sports car production production cars that you could find. We have a surprisingly little negative downforce, actually. Usually it's significantly higher, but I guess we usually have significantly higher top speeds when we make cars on automation, because usually we bump it up in 2019 and, all that. I do find it funny, though, that in the, I believe it's detailed stats, I don't remember where it was, that it said that I have 0 pounds of towing capacity. So apparently this thing is completely incapable of towing anything whatsoever. So yeah, I'm gonna export this to BeamNG and play with it for myself. You guys go ahead and tell me in the comments if you want to see me drive this thing around. I could make this a 2 episode per part series. One where I drive around the cars and one where I make the cars. If you guys would be interested in that, let me know.
Alright, thank you very much for watching. That makes the end of the video. This is my first video. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, I would love if you guys could put them in the comments down below. Tell me what you think about me. I recorded in 720p but 60 FPS because my processor isn't very good. So, if you guys like that or not, or if you would prefer higher resolution and lower frame rates, tell me what you guys think. I want your feedback. I want to know how to make myself better, how to improve. Constructive criticism would be greatly appreciated. Yeah, that's all. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.